Welcome, everybody, to our work session, the Ocean
Oh,
Township
really?
Board of Education.
Have a nice one.
And we will begin. We have our roll call again, because we have,
Hear us now.
he's calling.
Okay.
Dr. Beal,
Here.
Ms. Hayes,
Present.
Mr. McCarthy, Ms. McGovern,
Here.
Mrs. Parlonis.
Here.
Mrs. Talarico, Mrs. Tortorella,
Here.
Mr. Weinstein.
Here.
Mrs. Gilman.
Here, thank you very much, Mr. Hastings. Okay, I'm going to save my president's report for the regular meeting. Are we all right, Mike?
Still having an issue. Are you sure? It says our microphone's on. No? Yeah, it shows me it's transmitting audio.
Nothing to do with it.
Got nothing to do with it.
No? Okay, I'm gonna leave the meeting and I'm gonna rejoin. Okay.
Hi, come on in.
Member of the public.
Absolutely. Come have a seat. Welcome, welcome. We're just trying to fix our
Are you
audio.
able to see or hear us? No, I'm showing that we have a signal going out. We're unmuted.
From someone just wrote,
Yes,
see them
we
here.
can see.
Okay, people are commenting, they can hear us. Might be on your end. Yeah, we're being told that they can hear us, so. And you can see us?
Good. That was yes, okay. All right, I can see and hear you, but it is not clear. Okay, we'll do our best to speak loudly. I'm going to save my president's report for the regular session. Ms. Weldon?
I do have just a short report. I do have a much larger report for downstairs, but I did just want to say that the Spartan Alumni Association outreach, we are very excited. to
We're
be
having a
Spartan-
little problem with the audio.
Oh, still.
Kelly, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me? I see right there.
He's talking about downstairs to see if they can probably check.
Mary Ann, can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. She's letting.
We have a lot of attendees.
32.
I mean, I can join it from my computer. Try that.
So they can hear downstairs.
See, hold on.
Elliot's downstairs.
Yeah, I'm hearing other people saying they can hear us perfectly, so it may, let's just, I think we should go
I should
forward.
just continue.
Yes, I think we should
If they can
continue.
hear, and
Yes.
you can hear me up here, so I guess they can hear downstairs.
Okay.
And our participants said, so go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Weldon.
Just a short report. We have this week, first, the Spartan Alumni Association was something that I have been wanting to start here for some time, and I'm very excited about the responses that we received. We've had this open for the last month or so. We did receive close to 250 responses from alumni who offer their support in multiple ways. So in the next month or two, we will start to sort through that and just make decisions about how to get an exec board started and a group of alumni who will really carry on the work here and try to develop the programs that will best assist our current students and create that alumni group as well, to just expand our school community and that, Spartan spirit. So that was, again, I just wanted to mention that. Also, this week, we're having VPA and Tech Week. This is happening. Our 8th grade students who are enrolled in, whether it be a visual art or theater, dance, tech class, 8th grade students who have interest to come over to the high school were invited on this field trip. And at the high school, they are participating in these sort of master classes with our high school students and our teachers from the high school. So it's going great. First 2 days underway. We had a visual arts day yesterday, theater and band today, and we have 3 more days planned. Digital, tomorrow's more of a digital day, and then we have a dance and a choir day coming the rest of the week. But so far it's been great. And I did just want to mention that our esports team at the high school, although we don't, we usually recognize state champions here at the board level. I did think it was important to say that in our first year of esports, our high school esports team qualified for the Garden State Esports State Championship competition. And they went out to, what town was it in, Kalisha?
Morristown, it was at, St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth University hosted the Garden State Esports State Championship. We qualified in Rocket League and we placed second. So it's a really, really tremendous performance. Mrs. Leahy, Dr. Morgan were there at the event, and it was a really nice achievement for that team. So I did just want to mention a few of those things. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Weldon. School Business Administrator's report, Mr. Hastings.
Thank you, Madam President. So work has begun on the 24-25 budget. We've coordinated meetings with administrators, principals, and supervisors throughout the district to talk to them about developing the budget for next year. We have some of our business office staff going out and helping walk through the process, walk through the software, and help them get ready to present those budgets to us. The superintendent and her team will meet with those folks in December to review what they've done and what their draft plans look like, and we'll move on from there. December 5th is the due date of our annual comprehensive financial report, or our audit that we do each year. Over the past several years, the audit has been delayed by the state. The audit requires certain information that the state has to provide to the audit firms, and the state has had some issues in gathering that information. So while they can't officially change the due date because it's in the regulations and the legislation, they do give us a waiver on any QSAC or any other penalties for filing past that deadline. This year, we have not received any indication from the state that they're going to change that for this coming year. We've been working with the auditors from Wilcox and Company to get everything in order. There's been no indication of any findings of any sort by the firm. So we will get that filed on time on December 5th, which is a week from today, actually. So we have to file electronically and we send copies out to the county. And then the auditor will be scheduled to come in either in late December or early January to do a presentation for the board to accept the audit. And then the final item I wanted to mention is we have had some inquiries from folks who want to provide summer camp. We've had 2 groups reach out to us to talk about using either the Wayside School or Wanamassa schools for summer camp. We're speaking with those folks. We did a walkthrough with one of them over at Wanamassa yesterday to show them the facility and get an idea of what they're looking for and what their program looks like and whether or not we can accommodate it. We have our buildings and grounds folks with us as well, along with the principal at Wanamassa to walk them through and to ask questions. So we are looking at that and trying to determine if that's a feasible option for us for the summer, and if having a camp use the facility from late June to early August works in terms of allowing us enough time to clean and get the facility ready for the opening in September. So we'll keep you up to date on that as well.
Thank you for that report, and of course, our summer programs too, where they were done. Did you say someone was interested in one side or not?
Yes, we had someone interested in Wayside, however, we're doing some roofing work, anticipated roofing work over the summer there. So we're less enthusiastic about that. Proposal.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, ESY was there last year, so we would have, but because of the roofing, we may make a change there too. We're still assessing what would work best and what we can manage.
Alex,
Last summer we had interest from 2 camps that then withdrew. After some, walkthroughs and whatever, and even some, we almost were close, I thought. Are any of these 2 that you're talking about, any of those camps from last year that pulled out after expressing interest?
I don't specifically last year expressed interest, but from the conversations I've had, it sounds like it's the same 2.
Okay,
Because one has been repeatedly asking the district to consider their program. They currently run a program in a different district locally, and have asked to expand their program into ours as well.
well,
The
one
other
of,
was situated up more towards Fort Monmouth, and they're looking for an alternate location down in this area.
I don't know if that's the same, but one of them from last year was doing, in the plan they submitted to us, was to do like psychological evaluations on kids and like on their campers, that is, and it was like a mental health based camp. And then so you don't know if it, and
So
then they pulled it, like they pulled their application after we asked a couple questions. You don't know if that's, you don't know if that's.
No, the
same?
conversations we've had have strictly been summer recreation type camps
Okay,
for elementary, preschool and elementary age students. There's been no discussion of any sort of evaluation or the type of counseling or screening you're talking about.
okay. Thank you.
that was a good report. We move to the presentation of minutes. Mr. Weinstein,
Sure, so I guess up for discussion, if we wanted to have that, is the minutes from the executive session on November 14th. Oh, there was no work meeting minutes yet.
only the executive
There's only executive session.
minutes are attached
Right.
here. I went.
That was the only one I was,
There should have been
No.
attached.
Oh, there's 2.
provided, but,
One's attached, one you have to click on.
oh, up here was, oh, I thought they would both be attached down here.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So is there any discussion, correction, follow-up
Oh, sure.
for executive? Okay. We'll do our voting downstairs. Personnel.
We'll also do our voting downstairs.
Okay. Financial management and resource services, Ms. Hayes.
I'm sorry, I was not completely up. We are on 7.18. Oh, I'm sorry, 8.1 to 8.3 discussion. Monmouth University, the high impact tutoring grant and the tuition contracts.
Questions, comments? Ms. Weldon, you want to add anything about the grant, social justice grant?
This was, again, we had another teacher, we talked about this last week, we had a teacher, another teacher at the high school apply to the Monmouth University Social Justice Grant and was awarded $1,200. We'll be using these funds to facilitate a professional learning network with his colleagues at the high school. And just as for that attached, and then also the high impact tutoring grant, which we're very excited about. I'd like to thank Dr. Morgan for all of her work in preparing that. And our administrators and all of the coaches and instructional coaches and supervisors that helped put together a plan for our third and fourth grade students, where we are going to work to close reading and math gaps that those students may have. So after your hopeful approval of this, we will start to move forward on that plan.
Great. Yes,
Regarding the tutoring, high impact tutoring, I'm like, beyond ecstatic that we got the 115,000. Do we have any information on when we're ready to start? Do we know how many, have we already like evaluated the students? To see our numbers?
Well, we wrote our application based on what we want to do, so that's what we will want to do. Is once we accept this, we will start posting for positions and see, what we can. We want to get moving as quickly as possible on this, so
But I'm sorry, I might not have been as clear. Do we know how many students we want? Because not every student falls into being able to be helped, right? It has
Yes,
to be
we
certain
are
categories.
aware of the students we want to service through this grant.
Okay.
I do not know the quantity of that right off the top of my head, how many that is. But we know exactly which students, based on their performance, that we want to invite to this program.
And are we doing morning, afternoon? And we're not gonna try to farm it out to a vendor, is that correct?
Correct, we are going to use our own staff. And our application was primarily an after-school program that included a morning work component that would happen during the school day. To expand, to give a little bit more time to work on those skills. Than what we could just do after school.
And we anticipate a start date of what, like January? Or sooner?
No, we have to post starting tomorrow. Once you approve it tonight, we'll post.
Uh-huh.
And then we had to purchase, materials, and so the teachers need to be, trained on those materials. So we're looking maybe mid-January, end of January, but I wanna be sure that they, the teachers who are hired for the program are prepared with the, materials that we purchase, that we will purchase.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else for financial management and resource? We move to instruction, education, and student activities. Dr. Beal?
Any discussion regarding 9.1 through 9.7?
No further discussion? No questions, comment?
Nothing's, I,
Yes?
9.7, nothing's changed from our last discussion about the preschool
We've,
plan, right?
we've included the preschool enrollment numbers, which were not ready last time, so we're just, the plan, nothing has changed. The numbers are added. And they're on there together.
Thank you. Our policy, since Mr. McCarthy is not here, Dr. Beal, would you read those, please?
Discussion regarding 10.1 and 10.2?
These were notifications from Strauss Esme.
Right, the first section is the notification from the Strauss Esme alert, and the second section are the continuation of the review by the administration on policies that need to be updated.
Okay. Yes?
Regarding policy 5111, the eligibility of resident and non-resident students and the corresponding regulation. Last year we had, I'll try to be careful here because I don't even know any identifying information, but we did have incident where we had to deal with whether or not a student or a family was eligible. So do these eligible to stay in our district? Do we believe these new policies, or the way they're now written, will make it easier for us to determine, like, you cannot come to our schools because you don't live here, or you are entitled to come to our schools too because you live here? And then my follow-up to that would be, the previous superintendent was talking about some sort of an audit about all the county academy kids that we have. How do we verify that they're still eligible because it's still living in our town or not? Because we have had instances where academy kids domicile moved and they didn't tell us, so we ended up paying for those academy kids. So do we know if these policies will help enforce, I guess, a more accurate representation of who's eligible and how do we enforce it? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it remains to be seen whether or not it will make it easier. I don't know, disagree or not. But we handle residency checks quite regularly. And including students who may not actually report to our schools. So I really don't know if I have an answer of whether or not it will be easier. It's certainly something that we spend time on, though.
Well, the
Interrupted you.
alert was based on a change in the law,
Mhm.
so if you care to check, PL 2023, chapter 61 was changed and required us through Strauss Esme to update these policies and regulations. And to your first question, yes, in a sense, it does make it easier for us in that it allows us to set standards or guidelines and say, if a student is moving into the district on September 15th, let's say, would we admit him on September 9th or 8th or whatever the first day of school is, and set sort of those standards. It also talks about if a student was to withdraw or move, let's say February 1st, would we then allow that student to continue in the district and graduate? Would we treat it maybe on a grade level issue? And if so, would we consider tuition as an option for that student to finish out the year? And it also brings in a little bit of the county superintendent as well to come to an agreement on tuition costs should the district decide to go that way.
So it sounds more comprehensive, okay. There were no red lines in here, so I didn't know what was new and what wasn't new.
Right, so the workshop last week or 2 weeks ago is when we post the red line version of the policies, and the policies presented at this meeting are the final versions.
Okay.
We have a policy.
We
Yes,
do,
we do.
right, so
I was just gonna say
we're
that.
going through all of this, and that may then necessitate that we change that.
We have a
policy
policy,
as
I'm
well.
sorry, a policy.
We
that
do
Yeah,
have
I
a
believe there
policy
was-
that says that seniors, it
Right.
says that
Are allowed to.
if you present, I mean, and
We
we've also,
made
we've
local
also had.
decision to allow certain students to remain in the district based on grade level and based on date. And
To
so,
graduate. Mr. Taylor, I'm sorry.
And I was gonna say, I believe the law was changed to disallow that going forward, in some respects. And so, that's one of the changes I know Strauss Esme, proposed policy.
Do we still have the prerogative to do that?
I believe the law has been changed to disallow that. If I can confirm it, that's been a statewide issue. There are a lot of districts. I mean, the reality is some districts have expanded it to 8th grade. They will have to take the next 4 years,
Right.
at taxpayer expense. So I think that kind of what precipitated
Mm-hmm.
the tightening up, so to speak. So I don't know if it makes it easier.
I was just gonna say,
much,
so I don't know if
and
we use
just-
the word
it takes
easy.
away some, because the reality is, you don't always know about this.
Yes,
Makes
more
it more
structure.
clear cut once we know, I guess.
Maybe.
That's probably a better way to put it.
Interesting. Opinions on the policies, the proposed changes? Okay. We'll move to public relations. Ms. Porterello.
Item 11.1 for discussion.
And these are the certified results, I believe.
It says preliminary results. Pending
Since then, it has,
but usually it's on 2 or 3.
right. They have been posted.
In our cases, it's back.
Let's move to old business. Is there any old business to be brought up? Yes.
At the last meeting, I brought up the safety meeting, and if we could get like a little bit more, in exec, so maybe could we for next meeting,
Yes,
schedule, even if it's 3 minutes.
yes, Mr.
Um,
McCarthy did call me today to let me know he was, I'm not going to be able to attend, but that he would prepare something for the next executive session, at least in attendance, which should be the next meeting.
Okay.
Anything else? New business. New to discuss? Yes,
Hand up. We used to have on our page, on our district web page, where we say like, here's the upcoming agenda. Let's see if I can pull it up. We used to have, if you cannot attend, but you'd like to send an email or a question to the board president or the superintendent, here are their email addresses, and you can do that, and then it'll be brought up in the meetings. I didn't notice this week. I noticed it like maybe 3 meetings ago. Are we ceasing that so that people can no longer, send in an email in advance? I don't know if we've used it that often, but the opportunity was at least there.
We did clean up that language and that page a little bit because I thought it was looking a little messy and a little hard to follow and a lot of repetitive information and redundancy, which prior to the revamp of our website was our biggest complaint, that there was redundancy and you change something in one place and you don't change it in another, and now those things do not agree. I had not received any communication, any questions that way. We have an active public comment session where people from remote or in person answer. So I did take that out, not in an effort to cease it from happening, but because it really wasn't happening. And I thought the website did not look the way it should look. And I've received emails from the community quite a bit. So I think I'm able to answer those questions as I receive them. So it was not an intent to stop a process, but it wasn't happening. I wasn't receiving any questions that way.
Okay, we do have several public comment sessions, so. All right, speaking of public comment,
Wait, I'm sorry. We're still on new?
yes,
I have two more things. It's 7:30 and our next meeting's at 8, right?
what's your
So I
question?
might as well ask now rather than ask at 8. The LEAP and the challenge grants, that were announced by the DOE, are we applying for any of those? Did you already give us an update and I am mistaken and haven't written a note on that?
No, I did not give you an update. I don't have an answer to that question yet, but I will look into it and find out. I don't know. We usually do participate in it, but in the LEAP program.
Yeah, the
but-
LEAP, I thought we did the challenge. I don't remember that.
Okay, look into it.
Okay, and then next Thursday, December 7th, if that's a Thursday, is the next Monmouth County School Boards Association meeting where the teacher of the year who hails from Monmouth Regional High School will be there. So your information on all that should be in everybody's emails. If anybody wants to attend.
All right, we'll move to public comment. Would anyone from the public like to comment on any item at this time? Auditorium, Ms. Conway, is there anyone in the queue who would like to comment on any item at this time?
Yes, Madam President. Tiffany Fisher, please go ahead.
I just have a question. If for the summer, if you guys are having, let's just assume that you have the camp at Wanamassa and the roof is getting done in Wayside, where would ESY be? Would it be in Ocean Township, or you haven't looked into that far ahead yet?
It's possible that it would be placed at the Ocean Township Elementary School, but we have made no final decisions yet about the camp. So it would be too soon for me to say where it will be held this summer.
Okay, but will it definitely not be at Wayside because of the roof? Because I know Wanamassa didn't have last year because they were doing construction over there.
I would say that's, it still depends. We're still determining work schedules and whether or not the work can be done, when it can be done. It's a little early to say where we will house our ESY program.
Okay.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else in the queue, Ms. Conway?
No, Madam President, there are no further commenters.
And there are none in the auditorium here as well. Then we'll make a motion to adjourn and move downstairs for our public, regular meeting.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. See you downstairs.